You are listening to the Kentucky X-Files with hosts Dennis Mays and Tyler Stewart. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Spotify or YouTube so you never miss an episode. Now, to our show.
Something that would be in the context of the
He
supernatural.
described it as being a gray, silver-looking, upright bipedal creature, dragging a deer out of that cave going up the hill.
Where he goes, hey, I got a question for you. He goes, do you believe in demons?
And it takes one big step and vanishes. I'm like, oh my God, that was a Bigfoot.
And look at these pictures of this white creature.
Something 7'3" to 8 foot tall.
Right.
That, let's say it like
And I'll tell you right now, if this was a bear, then this bear was standing on his hind legs, and he was running like a man. No, this wasn't no bear.
now, when it stood up, that's when I knew it was a dog man.
I know everybody out there is like, when you watch any video on Sasquatch and they get a decent like picture of it, it's not too blurry, but it's very far away, so it's hard to tell. I feel like on this episode we're going to dive into some of the biggest like controversial videos where a lot of people say it's fake, some people don't, it like, and all in between. We're gonna like kind of dissect it just to see if we believe, like, if we could shed some light on any of these videos to show some, like, if it has weight that it could be the big guy, Sasquatch.
Yeah.
So, Denny?
Tyler.
So you, I was just hearing you just a bit ago talk to your boy.
Yep. My
What
son.
kind of video? Yeah, what kind of videos you got for us tonight?
We have what I consider. I know a lot of people are going to argue with me over this, but what I consider the only 3 tangible videos out there. And
Okay.
the reason I say that is because these 3 have something in common that none of the others actually have going for them. And I know I talked to you a little bit about this Boise, Idaho video that Mark Anders' channel put up.
Mm-hmm.
And great channel, by the way. Go ahead, subscribe to that if you guys are listening. And then we have the next video, which is the classic. Old Patty herself. Big Patty. And then we have this other one I found. The Provo Canyon thrower Bigfoot. Basically, it's a Bigfoot that throws a large boulder or rock or whatever you want to call it. And wait till you hear what we came up with. Actually, I can't take credit for it. My son's an animator. He's got a YouTube channel. He's the Epic Animator. Check him out. Tons of subscribers. He does computer animation. So his specialty is pixels, man. I mean, it's everything pixels, anything that moves on these videos. He's got the eye for it because he's made, I don't know how many videos he's made, but it's up there. He's done it a lot. He animates these things frame by frame, so he is very meticulous when it comes to some of the videos that I've shown him. And I got him over here to take a look and see what he thought. And some of the findings are pretty amazing, to be honest with you. And we can dive right in if you want. I could show you what I'm seeing and what he's seeing. And I'm almost sure somebody out there has got to noticed this by now, and I'm sure they have. And if they have, outstanding, more power to them. I'm glad to hear it. The problem we have is, in regards to this topic of the big guy, and I know we've said this before, is that there is a humongous amount of bullshit in this topic, okay? And that's great. I think that's anytime you're dealing with any kind of cryptid or urban legend, ghost stories, UFOs, anything, I feel like there's a substantial amount of bullshit that's going to be attached to that topic, right? And the trick is to start weeding that stuff out. Start getting rid of it. But we've never really had a criteria for what to look for to get rid of it, okay? So, I've been very, very devoted to this subject for the past few months now.
Yeah.
I have watched a lot of videos, and I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of pictures. I've been through thousands of pictures of woods, and somebody saying that this dark spot is a Sasquatch peeking out of a tree looking at him. And there's a lot of time wasting going on. But then in the pile of videos and pictures, 3 stood out. And it's the same thing that I had kind of click on my brain when we were doing the tracker, and and all that, is that when I see a pattern, it lights up for me like it's being illuminated by 1,000 little candles, right? Kind of like saying, like, hey, look here, look at this, pay attention to what you're seeing, blah blah blah. So I have to start looking, and then I have to start re-looking until finally the thing jumps out at me. And without further ado, I will show you what's jumped out at me big time, and what was right in front of me that I didn't notice until later. And I got my screen shared for the people at home, and you too, Tyler. You've got it going on too there. So I'll show you what I've got. And I'm going to back up to this Mark Anders here. I'm going to mute it. If you want to watch his video, everything on this screen right now is going to tell you where to go to find it. But here's what we got going on. We got this big guy right here, and somebody allegedly filmed him walking from quite a good way away. And this is slowed down, and I believe, I've got it at a quarter speed. And I actually put this in Sony Vegas and slowed it down even further and zoomed in on this foot. I don't know if that'll show up on the video, so I'll do my best to add the clip that I made to this video for the folks at home.
Actually, a little side note too. The funny thing is that video is already slowed down, so we're actually super slow mo too. So
we've definitely,
it's going inches.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted to slow this thing down as far as humanly possible, because I noticed a few things going on in it. Okay.
I could already say, it's me personally, it's the legs in itself, but I feel like a lot of people that are watching this will say, well, that top part doesn't look very lively and stuff, but then that's another thing too, is how do you walk through the forest or something of that nature? You just lay your hands down, and plus look at the massive size of that guy's that Sasquatch's arm. I don't think it would just hang right by its it's like pelvis, like it's
Right.
waist. So like it's just like it's really jacked. So I don't know, like it looks kind of odd, but I don't know. I'd feel like you'd be so awkward if that was actually a suit. Like I
Yeah.
don't think he would be walking like that. I'd feel like he'd be stumbling around a little bit. It had to be frustrating if that was that case.
Exactly. When I watched it, the first time I watched it, it jumped out at me, and it wasn't even any of the details that I want to talk about and show here. It was mainly that I thought, wow, this one actually reminds me of Patty.
Yeah.
For some reason, it reminded me of Patty. And a lot of people might say, like, well, I mean, don't all Bigfoots kind of look the same, you know? Don't they all, they all big, hairy, tall dudes, whatever? Well, when I see right here...
Oh, sorry. My bad.
When I see right here, I see nothing that indicates a female whatsoever, okay?
Okay.
And when I see the size of his ass...
Posterior.
Okay, when I see the size of this butt, I'm not focused on that. I'm focused on the size of this leg. Okay, so we've got a really big, powerful leg, and a calf muscle that's flexing right now, and a toe that's upraised and getting ready for the next step. The other thing that jumped out at me is this. See this spinal?
Mm-hmm.
And then how the spine is in line with the back of the cranium, and the cranium has a dome to it. And you can see the brow here.
Yeah. I kind of can get I'm kind of with you on the whole Patty thing. Like they're similar in ways. Like especially I know we're kind of seeing a side view, but we kind of got the side view of Patty.
Sure.
So they have a similar shape to the head. Like it kind of looks it's kind of looked like they're wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
Or something of that nature, like because you like how you said the brow and that top, the peak of its head, and the way that the body, like you were saying, the spine and stuff, it looks just like it. But like you were saying, it's different in some ways because, like you were saying, the front part you don't see like those like the breast, like it kind of shows in the Patty video. But when I first saw this video, I saw like because he kind of looked like an upside down triangle. Like he's stocky up top, like his shoulders are wide, and he kind of tapers down.
Oh yeah. The thing that jumped out really quickly to me was, okay, so little is known about the species. Little is known. We don't know. We're still on the first step trying to prove the species. So we don't even have, a full scientific profile yet. But the first thing I thought is okay, this looks innately male to me. And if that's the case, then we have a severe case of sexual dimorphism going on for the species. Okay, I'm not saying this in a general. I'm not even looking at these as an ape right now. Okay, they down here in this lower area, they are the same. They walk the same. The foot comes all the way up. And the only thing I could think of is for a foot to come all the way up like that every single step is only going to happen if the subject is used to traversing very rough terrain. Okay. The heel to toe step right here is pretty spot on with what a lot of people believe that's happening when they find a good footprint. They're thinking that, okay, well, whatever this is stepping heel to toe. And then when I see the bend in this foot here, now this up until right about here, this could still be costume. That's still, even all the way up to here. I know it's moving pretty slow for everybody, but it's moving real slow. It's this is still in the realm of could be a costume until right here. See where the toes bend up? All of a sudden the toes bend up, and you should have a footstep that happens right here. That is what made me wonder. And then leaving this guy for a second, let me pause this one and go over to Patty. Now on Patty, we have sort of a similar thing going on, except for one thing. She's in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at her arms.
Yeah.
Her arms are flared, you know. She swings her arms when she walks. She's walking quickly. You know, it's aiding in her balance, okay? She doesn't do that until she starts feeling like she's in a hurry. The swing's real easy. She turns and she starts picking up her pace. She wants to get out of there. You see the big butt again when she turns. But what you're seeing here is the female of the species. For this species, she's a lot more graceful than our big Idaho destroyer. And in sexual dimorphism, something you're going to find is if he's to encounter another male of the species and they don't get along, or say they challenge each other, his posture is exactly what you would hope for. He's stiff up top. He's flexed, man. He's literally ready for anything. He looks like he's ready to impress a female or intimidate another male. Like I said, he's much more muscular up top. Got a much bigger arms. With the bigger arms, he's a little bit stiffer. He's not swinging, you know, he's not swinging his arms back and forth like the female would. Let me speed it up. Maybe we can get an idea of what he looks like when he's walking regularly. And that huge step. Look at that. You know, it's a big step. I can't tell if he's right-handed or left-handed by the way he steps. He's, you know, he's just kind of doing his thing. And like I said, he's very stiff up top. He's poised, you know. But when you get back to Patty, she's very graceful. She's not trying to impress anybody. She's just doing her thing. But you can see the similarities, can't you? I mean,
Yeah.
one thing that got me was, if I paused it right there and just kind of looked at that, was, okay, I am willing to accept right now with proof that this is a costume. You know, apparently this video here is about, what'd you say, 7 years old? This video is about 7 years old. I think that's well within the range of time you would need for some kind of special effects guy or costume creator to come up with a believable suit, right? A believable suit that someone could wear and someone could go out and fake this, you know, even all the way down to the toes. I mean, you might be able to fake that. You could sell me that. I could accept it. However, I cannot accept that same scenario happened in 1967. And that this detail in 1967 didn't happen again until 2014. That I cannot accept. I don't see it. I know if you go back here somewhere, I don't know where it's at, but for a second we actually get to see her step. And let me see if I can get it one more time. When she takes this step, you'll see the toes come up. Yep. It happens really quick. I might be able to slow it down and put it in the video post-edit. But this channel, by the way, is was that Wayne Dowsent. So anybody that wants to subscribe to him, definitely go check it out. He's got some really good stuff. Right here, you'll see the toes come up again and go down. And the step is the same. And look at the proportion. See where the arm swings to? Almost the middle of the thigh. And then over here, middle of the thigh. That's a pretty close match. I mean, if you ask me, these guys could be related. Maybe one is the other one's grandmother. I don't know. Or maybe they don't age quite like we do. Maybe they're a hardier species than us. You know, maybe it's not so much a primate. Maybe it's more of an archaic human. You know, something kind of an offshoot. Something that came up in evolution beside us. Maybe they just took a different path. I don't know. Maybe they're just... I mean, maybe they kept their population lower and they stayed healthy and they got stronger and bigger. You know, they live off the land. I don't know. But my third video that I was really interested in was this guy. This is the Bigfoot rock thrower. Temper tantrum Bigfoot. There's another part of this where you see him come down the hill, but I don't know where they play it at. I think it's here somewhere. Yeah, it's like right in here. He stands up and he fires this big boulder, underhanded, like a primate. And fun fact about this is my son actually played this shot frame by frame. And counted it to, he's right here. Hey, son, what was the count that you had for the rock throw?
How many frames per second it is?
How many frames did that rock throw happen?
Okay, so it took 22 frames for the Sasquatch in quotes, we don't know.
Okay.
Confirmed. But it took 22 frames for the Sasquatch to stand and throw it.
Okay.
The projectile took 17 frames to get off screen.
Okay, so if you...
And that's 27 frames per second slowed down at a quarter.
Okay, so for folks at home that maybe not able to hear him, it took, did you say 22 frames?
For what?
For the actual stand to throw.
Yeah.
Okay, for 24 frames it took.
Hand motion of underhand throw.
He stood up and underhand threw this rock that only took 17 frames?
22 frames.
22 frames total for the... Is that for the rock to get off screen, or is that 17 frames?
17 frames is how long it took for the rock to get off screen. 22 frames is how long it took for the Sasquatch to stand up and underhand throw.
Okay, so one more time for the old gaffer. 22 frames. Sasquatch goes from a sitting position to standing up and throwing all at once, just like that. 17 frames it takes for that rock that looks to be about the size of a bowling ball to go off screen in almost a perfect horizontal path.
It's almost 2 seconds.
That's almost 2 seconds, he says. I don't know if a human being can stand up and do that.
Especially that fast.
Here he comes walking down the hill right here. We don't get to see much of it. He gets to the spot here and he sits down or crouches down. I can't tell. It looks like he's sitting sideways. And then he begins to, I don't know if he sees something or if he's what he's doing, but he stands up and underhand throws the rock in a horizontal motion. What looks like 20 to 25 feet away off screen. I don't know where the rock lands. I know for those interested at home, Thinker Thunker did an entire dissection of this video, but he focused on more of the locomotive, of it, the underhand throwing, and if it was possible to be done by a man. But we focused on the speed it took. And I'm just wondering, can a human stand up from a sitting position with this rock, underhand throw it in under, almost in under 2 seconds? So, and we're assuming that the video is being filmed at those speeds too. I mean, if for example this video was filmed at 60 frames per second, then all of this would have happened under 1 second, which would have been startling to see. So that's what I got so far. That's what I've been working on. These little patterns that kind of have popped out here. When I see the toe bending on these when they're walking, when they bend up after the step, I'm not convinced. But when they bend up again before the step, I'm wondering if that's, if it's the most insanely detailed costume that's ever been made, or if we're looking at a real living organism right there before our eyes.
I just have a random video of a gorilla throwing a rock. I just want you kind of see, kind of compare it to what we just watched there.
Okay.
I think I shared my video. Okay.
All right. So what do we got?
Okay, here he comes up, steps, throws it.
Okay.
Maybe that's the reason why he got up so fast. Kind of
use the momentum to fling it like that.
Yeah, kind of fling his arm, give it a little extra oomph around it.
Okay. Hey, can you slow that one down?
Yes, I can.
Let's see if we can see the whole locomotion of it. And this guy's walking too. He's actually in the middle of something. Look, he just boom, and there it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's interesting too about that is his reaction after the object leaves his hand. It almost looks like he has to counterbalance himself. See this?
Yeah.
See him kind of like.
Yeah, he kind of like. It looks like he's leaning to one side.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa.
Like the centrifugal force actually threw him off a little bit. He must have put some serious stank on that. Boom.
But yeah, I was just trying to look up anything that kind of referenced that, see what would be the reason for it, and I don't know, that video does look a little odd on how it was thrown, but it's they can't if they have they wouldn't be able to. What is that? How is that? What's that hand style?
Underhand or hook?
No, I meant their hands. Because they can't grip something, so they wouldn't throw overhand because they can't.
Yeah.
Pinch it. They can't use their thumb like we do.
Yeah, I can't. It's like their great thumb or great toe is in line.
Yeah,
they can grip. They just can't grip like we can.
Yeah, so they wouldn't be able to overthrow it. So if these creatures are, everybody keeps saying that. I know we've always said that these are different. These are, what did you say? Different humanoid types of but we're not calling them gorillas or primates or any of that sort. They're just different. But I just keep feeling that I'm leaning more towards a primate because we're seeing so much primate styles in these video, like characteristics of these creatures out and about. But then, with that, like that being said, that could be hoax. That people could say, okay, this is what a gorilla does or a monkey does or whatever.
Right.
They could use that to the advantage of making it into a fake video. But we're in the day and age that I feel like we're searching for a needle in a stack of needles now because
Absolutely.
of how much the internet has influenced people to make a joke and keep with it, I guess. Like, just keep going with it, and just new people just like, hey, I want to make a joke too, so keep rolling with it.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I feel like that's what we're here for. We're trying to like weed out those.
Yep.
I feel like that's what you said in the beginning, is we're trying to weed out those like we might not 100%, like you were like saying too. I know I keep going back to this, but you were like saying that the Idaho one, you could, like, somebody could come up to you and say like, yeah, that was a suit. You would believe that wholeheartedly now.
If they said that this is a suit, we will show you the suit. We'll show you how we did it. I'd be on board. Okay, it's a suit. I would have to wonder what was the point of the whole thing, but I would totally accept that was a suit. Just because of the day and age that we're in. 2014, I believe that they could have made this. Maybe there's a big zipper in the front that we're not seeing.
Yeah. But the Patty video, it's too hard to.
Yeah, but that I just can't accept. That's too far back. There's another thing in this Idaho video that I want to make a mention of. I'm hoping that it's not seen as a kind of an obscene whatever, and I'm hoping that the viewers and the listeners can get on board with me here, and let's hopefully not take this to preschool. But there's something else in the video that makes a little appearance, and it happens really fast. But again, it's a question that I've had for a while in regards to these Sasquatch sightings and Sasquatch videos, and alleged pictures. I could reshare and show you if you want. Let me just say that once you see it, it's kind of hard to unsee it. Oh Jesus! Here we go.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, this is like I said, this is something that I was curious about. I'm sharing my screen here with you. And I'm back on the old Idaho, and this, like I said, I feel like this is probably one of the better videos that we're gonna get for the big guy. Now, his arms don't really swing as much as Patty's. You recall me saying that, right? He's a lot more controlled. Okay, so you see where this arm is, right?
Yeah.
And we see that there's an angle like this, so you can tell by the distance his other hand's gonna be over in this area. If you could see through him. Okay, so when I go and you let this hand just kind of swing out of the way there for a second, and there's our little guy that we're looking for there to let us know that this is a male of the species. Here it comes, and there it is, and you'll never unsee that. I'm sorry.
Well, that's something that I was actually going to say something earlier when we were watching this. I was like, I really wish that he would turn, but I feel like the viewers, the listeners, I mean, would just laugh at this, but I was expecting something a little bit bigger. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, scale is everything. We don't know. We don't know how far we are away from him. We don't know, if there's anything around him that we can compare to. I mean, I imagine we could send this little clip here to Thinker Thunker. Maybe he could, maybe he could figure out a way to scale that for us. But he's walking behind a tree that looks to be about 6 inches thick, if I'm guessing. And these type of trees grow on my farm, so I know the average size of those. Let me go back and start this again. But I caught this. This was one of the last things I caught, and I thought, oh my god, do I say something about it or do I just let it go? I mean,
I think you should, because
this could very well be the first time anybody's ever got a video evidence of Bigfoot's little soldier.
Yeah, like, I feel like we should say it, because, like, I know somebody might say, like, oh, that's just fur or something of that nature, but it's in the right position. And it seems like it kind of, I'm sorry, listeners, but it seems like a little movement now. He's right. You can't unsee it.
You can't unsee this, folks.
But I think it was a good thing, because, okay, if this was a costume and they literally went all out, they even gave you genitalia. Like, come on.
That's what I'm saying. The other thing that I was gonna mention about this particular sighting within a sighting is that when he walks, it actually moves the way it's supposed to, and that was a big deal for me. Which was, when I seen it at first, I thought, okay, that's his other hand, but you know what? In the position of it, it doesn't make much sense, because
if anything, because he is swinging his arms, but he's not doing as aggressively like how Patty was.
Yeah.
If his arm, like the way that, okay, you'll see his swing. So
Yep.
his other arm should be behind him now.
Yeah. So there's no reason for that to be
His other hand
whatsoever, which leaves me to the conclusion that, like I said, you're seeing Bigfoot's Johnson. So there you have it, folks. You heard it here first on the Kentucky X-Files. We have confirmed that the Boise, Idaho Bigfoot is a male for sure. If the lack of breasts didn't convince you, well, little Bigfoot should convince you. Just take a look at that, slow it down. I'm sure we'll have somebody out there. Somebody out there will probably analyze this and hopefully confirm. I don't think I could bring myself to do it any more than I already have. I feel pretty comfortable with my assumptions so far here, even as uncomfortable as it is. And then, getting off that subject as quickly as possible, if you look at the calves actually flex.
I really wish you would actually show that video that you sent me of that zoomed in, because even though the toes, like you even said the same thing, as it goes, as you were talking about it, how it, you see the toes kind of grip down. But the shadowing, okay, it's about to.
Yep, here's the toes. I'm showing it right now on mine. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I'm watching it. You can start to see the as he moves, he lifts up the shadowing of the. Oh, it went out.
Yeah. I can set it to loop, I believe. There we go. Should loop from here forward.
Yeah, on this closer leg here, after he makes the first bit, that step, you see the light shadowing up on the top of the calf, and then it kind of starts to go down the back of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's seems like a bright day. I think you said something since this was zoomed in so far, there was a lot of contrast that was bumped up.
Yeah, I believe that they bumped up the contrast to be able to see it better.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know, I would feel like that's I don't know if that's just like the shade, like the like the way the light is hitting it, and then as it's moving, it's just changing.
Yeah.
It's just weird because the flex in it will just start going down.
Yeah, because you can actually see the light that's coming through the trees moving on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's, you know. Plus, too, like I said, we don't really know the angle, so we can't even tell if they're, you know, if this is a slight grade, the shadow might be going down that grade where we're not going to see it. I don't know what this stuff is behind him is, but, you know, and then, you know, if you want to go into detail,
the butt cheeks
are just a flexing. You know, we might as well just do it for the sake of science. Let's let it loop one more time. And right about here, I think we shall see. I might have to back it out just a little bit for scale here. Somewhere right in this area, you should see. Unless I cut this clip off too soon. Yeah, there it was.
Yeah, I saw it beforehand.
Yep, there it was.
You kind of can, yeah. I feel bad saying, like, you can see just the tip. Like,
yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
but I mean, I mean, he's not. I mean, giving him a little bit of. I'm gonna back him up a little bit. I don't know how cold it is. Okay, and he might not be in business mode. You know what I mean? He's in.
It's true. Like, we don't know what. Like, this might not be his mating time.
That's what I'm saying. Might not be the season for it.
Yeah.
He's just walking. He's just walking. So no need to get the big guns out, you know. But there you go. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on here that you're not gonna see in a costume. The ass cheeks are clearly flexing. The calves are flexing. The toes are flexing and moving. And I believe that at some point during this, he actually almost turns and it acknowledges whoever it is that's filming him. And if I can find that, I'll show you. It actually showed it for a second. I did catch it. He doesn't look very far over. He just kind of glances.
Okay, yeah, I see the head.
Yeah, but we're zoomed out pretty. Well, we're zoomed in, but the camera that filmed it was far away, I believe. So it's pretty interesting, man. This is you know, if anybody really could explain it, you know, if somebody could get in contact with us and explain it, like, hey, I'm a special effects guy, or I'm a costume maker. You know, I make this stuff. I know exactly how they did all this, you know, because, you know, it's at this point in my life, I'm going to say that it is becoming more and more challenging to be a skeptic when the supposed fake thing I'm looking at is reacting like a organic creature. You know, they've been trying to debunk Patty for years and haven't been able to. And what do you know? You know, there she goes with muscles flexing and movement and breasts. There's breasts. You don't see that in some of these. You just see blurry. You know?
Another thing too is, like, if you notice, like, especially in the other video too, the Idaho video, I guess, like, the hair on them is kind of patchy, like just around the buttocks on Patty is the same on the Idaho one,
right?
Kind of like on the sides of the cheeks, bottom of the cheek, like they're kind of like there's not that much hair.
Yeah.
But then but hers is kind of like the size of her was a little bit like not like don't have a lot of hair, but he seemed like he's pretty hairy all over, other than like around his waist and his buttocks. So like they have similar characteristics of with each other.
Absolutely. Well, I'm actually I'm changing gears here, and I'm going to the other end of the spectrum. And I'm gonna try to find this. Yeah, there we go. Let's go back to. I got two of them to show you. Hey, here's where I'm at. Okay. See this?
Yeah.
Okay, it just runs up and ducks down real quick and just disappears. Okay, this is Mr. Todd Standing again. There's a lot of mixed feelings about Todd Standing. Some people believe he's one of the greatest hoaxers of all time. Some people think he's just a fantastic Sasquatch enthusiast, or researcher. See that?
Yeah.
Now, when I see this, it does not remind me of these at all. I don't get the same feeling at all from this. There's another one.
Well, even the famous the picture of the face that he caught.
Yeah.
That he has, it doesn't even look like what you think that either the Patty or this other one. I know you don't see the face, but the way the facial structure on him, it just doesn't look right.
Right.
And especially that one. I
can't get behind it. Yeah.
I can't get behind that one. The thing doesn't blink.
It doesn't blink. It doesn't even acknowledge anybody's there. I didn't bring this up to tear Todd Standing apart. All I'm saying is that when I see this, I'm not getting the same feeling that I get off of these other videos. It just doesn't seem right, doesn't seem good. And he's not alone. Here's another one for you. Homesteading off-grid is another one that's questionable. And I'm not saying, okay, I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not on here to tear anybody apart. This guy's an entertainer. He's got quite a big following. You can subscribe to him. You can watch his videos, and that's great. But if I can find it here, it might take me a minute. There it is. He put up this video December 9th, 2020. And I'm going to skip a little bit. He goes walking through his farm. And let me slow this down. Oh. Playback speed. Let's go to 25. And he should see something here in a second. I'm going to let it play while I continue this. This guy puts up videos all the time. Everything always has to do with it always has to do with something going on with some kind of cryptid. It's changed. The story changes all the time. It goes from Bigfoot to Dogman to aliens to ghosts to whatever. And then he puts this video up where he's supposedly out, hears a noise and whatnot, and he films this. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so clearly this is what I'm talking about. This is what you have to weed through on a daily basis. You go through and you find this, and you can't really blame the guy. It's generating a lot of views. It's probably bringing in some money, and it's entertaining people. You can see that some of the folks are really, really entertained, and they're engrossed, and that's fine. I'm not saying that it's not a good thing. Entertaining is all hell. He's actually pretty funny. I like listening to him. I like watching him too, but that is a far cry from that.
Go back to that video.
This one?
Yeah, go back a couple seconds.
Okay.
A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Okay. Kind of like right there. Like, look at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just it looks like he posted like it looks like a picture to me, because have you ever seen like when you shine a light on like a
Yeah.
photo, it kind of gives like a bluish tint to it.
Right.
It's like a cutout or something.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it's, yeah, I don't know. Maybe a cutout, maybe a mask or something. I'm not real.
Yeah. Like you said, we're not here to cut on these people. Like it's
Yeah.
whatever.
But we have to be fair about this and be unbiased. And I'm sorry to say that you cannot add this to credible. Look at that, folks. Folks at home, take a look at that. Take a look at that. And then take a look at that. And take a look at that. Does that seem like the same thing to you? Is that even in the same is that even in the same galaxy of the same idea? I mean, give me a break. These two things here, or three things if you want to count our temper tantrum Sasquatch.
It's true.
I believe these might be real animals or archaic humans. Whatever you want to call them, you know. We're not trying to offend you, but that is counterproductive. It's not helping. You know, I'm sorry to say, but when you see stuff like this, it just takes me right to the reality show Bigfoot shows, you know, or whatever you want to call them, the Finding Bigfoots and the Monster Hunters and all this. And I'm sorry to say, it's counterproductive. It's not helping. This is going to set you back. You know, if you want any kind of credibility for finding something like this, if you're out in the woods and you film one of these, you're doing something. But then you got to deal with the guys who do this.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you got a whole bunch of people, 14,190 views, that are going to say, well, this is all fake. These are all fake. Just because they found one video that's, I'm sorry to say, just not real.
Yeah, one bad review always ends up...
That's it, you know. You do something right, nobody remembers. You do something wrong, nobody ever forgets. And you can see it, yeah, clear. Like you said, to me it almost looks like a
barrel
or something, like it's sitting on it, and
Yep.
He put it up earlier in the day, and he walked up trying to find it, you know, to cause a scare. And if you watch the actual thing, I can go back a few seconds here, and I'll change the speed back to normal. And you watch what happens as soon as he sees it. This part will get you. Got me. It made me jump when I first saw it. I'll admit it. And he freaks out. Oh my God. And he runs. And unfortunately, the very next day, he was filming a different video. He never even mentioned it. You know, that was the video, and then he went to this one. You know, and he literally just jumps to the next one. Didn't even acknowledge that one. Never even brought it up again, as far as I know. I honestly haven't watched this channel in a while. It actually started to feel like a waste of time, since I was looking for what I considered tangible evidence. And let me tell you, folks, if you're trying to find proof, you have got one hell of a battle on your hands. One hell of a battle, because you're going to have to weed through thousands of these to find just one of these.
Or you could be one of the lucky ones and actually get some footage,
Yep.
or like the shot to actually show show that proof.
Yeah.
But even if you do, just like these people, like the Patty video, like it could it could be like hoax or not or blah blah blah, whatever you think it is. Even if it was real, people are going to say it's fake just because there's so much out there. There's so much that you can do nowadays and hoax something, and it, like, until we actually physically have a body, no one's going to believe this. So
Yep.
I feel like we're in a losing game here, but we still want to find the truth no matter what.
Absolutely. Definitely want to get to the bottom of it. Want to find the truth. Want to know definitively, is it out there? And if it is out there, do we really need anything beyond that? Do we really need to study it? Do we need to interfere with it? Or could we maybe say, hey, it's there. Let's stay out of its way. Let's let it live. Let's let it do its thing. It's clearly gotten this far without our help. Maybe this one thing we could just not mess with. Maybe we could just leave it alone and let it live and just not do the human thing that we always do and decide that it's our new baby bird and we have to protect it, and while we're protecting it, it's slowly losing its soul. Let's just leave it be once we know.
I think it was there was a video that you actually recommend, and I would actually recommend to the viewers. It's actually, if you guys have Amazon Prime, it's called The Unwanted Sasquatch.
The Unwanted Sasquatch.
That's spelled UNWONT. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. There was a guy on there that said said something that like really stuck with me. He's like, the worst thing about this whole about Sasquatch is the community. We're so cutthroat. We're so eager to dismiss somebody before giving it a chance.
Yeah.
And I like we said, we didn't go out and start this episode to cut down Todd Standing or that other Homestead guy or anybody else on this episode or episodes to come. We've watched these countless times, and we know that wholeheartedly that this is fake. This is just for entertainment.
Yeah.
And we're fine with that.
Absolutely.
We're going to go through it. We're going to do what you guys don't want to do. We're going to tell you hey, I don't think you should give this any time of day because it's not what we think is tangible evidence.
Sometimes they're entertaining as all hell, though. I mean, I'll admit that. The homesteading off grid, I find him very, very. He's hilarious. He's funny as hell. He's actually really entertaining to watch. But you have to go into it with a grain of salt that he's not contributing to the search for the truth of the matter. He's having fun. But to make it more mysterious, he's not coming out and saying that he's just having fun. He's just playing it as if he's really, really in it. But another, I did want to say this, notable shout out. The Facts by howtohunt.com. What Steve is doing over there on that channel, I became a huge fan almost instantly when the guy out of nowhere has this hunting channel that's very successful, a website, a magazine, you name it. He's got apps that he's developed. He's a professional guide. I mean, this dude is the real deal. Straight talking guy, highly respected, has his reputation on the line, comes out one day and just says, you know what, fine, I'll tell you the truth. Yes, I've seen him. I've seen him twice. And then he started something that I don't think he ever intended. He went from a hunting channel to almost a therapeutic channel for people to tell their experiences to get over it, to to get over the shock of it, to get over the feelings that they had because of it. Because you got to think that seeing one in person, there's a few of us, I think, that might see it and be almost brought to tears by the absolute joy, knowing that, yes, there's still a little bit of magic left in the world. This is real. But there's a lot of people who aren't ready for that, and I'm not faulting them. And they're going to have an experience, and it's going to traumatize them. And what they do is, Steve's made a way to send him an email. He'll read your story. He'll talk. You can be heard. There's other people that feel the same way. They've encountered these things. It changed them. It upset them. It traumatized them. And they couldn't tell anybody. And now he lets them tell him. And I tell you what, somebody in one of his videos made a comment. They said, "Man, I get a great feeling when I see Steve put on his reading glasses and bring up his cell phone." And that's, he's gonna tell somebody's story. And I really think, although he's not putting out concrete evidence, he's not putting out footage or videos of Sasquatch itself, I believe that he is helping by giving us more encounters to listen to, more stories to hear, and he's given people a way to talk about it, finally. So, big shout out to him. Very cool guy. And what else? Who else could we shout out? Maybe
I think we've shout out Thinker Thunker's name so many times.
Yep.
I want to shout him out every time because I really want to get him on the podcast. I'm gonna pick his brain.
Man, I tell you what, if we could pick his brain and somehow hypnotize him into joining us,
I don't think we could do that. But
I believe that us three together would be a force. We would be a force to be reckoned with, and man, it would be crazy. It'd be Thinker Thunker plus his two sidekicks.
The Thunker boys.
The Thunker twins.
The Thunker twins.
I don't know if there's much incentive for on his end. I feel like he's getting a short end of the stick here, but still, Thinker Thunker, huge shout out to that guy because he's going into it with a very, very professional mind state, and he really dissects those things. If you haven't subscribed to him and you're listening to this, what the hell is wrong with you? Get over there and subscribe to him. You don't know what you're missing. The guy literally dissects the videos worse than we do. I mean, he tears them apart all the way down to the details. I mean,
yeah, he'll even make sure that he makes sure what type of tree is in that area to make sure that he knows what size that tree is, to give him some idea, to just something off the top of my head. It's crazy. And he goes into what was the thing that the voice the thumbprint, the voice thumbprint, or how he said it,
the vocal fingerprints,
vocal fingerprints, that's how he said it. That was crazy. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's the type of stuff that if you can't have the time, you don't have the time to go out and go to these real hot spots of where these alleged cryptids are.
Yeah.
Dude, he has the best way of dissecting videos and stuff that people's the evidence that people that are presenting, and he can there's always faults in some areas, but he's getting I feel like he's getting close to showing good at it. He helps a lot.
He's definitely helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, he's weeding through. I feel like that's where we ended up. I feel like we joined that team. I don't feel like we're. I wouldn't call us Bigfoot researchers by any means, but I feel like we're like evidence analysts. We're going through what other people have provided, and we're trying to weed through it the best we can and see if we can't figure this out. And if it turns out to be just one elaborate, gigantic hoax, which is a little bit more unbelievable than Bigfoot itself at this point, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
then I accept that. But if it turns out to be true, then, I feel like we're one little, part of that machine, trying to help with that. But the one thing I'm worried about is that we do help. If something we do or whatever helps the discovery and proof, I just hope that we're not contributing to the devastation of a species.
Yeah.
That would be unforgivable, and I don't have any intention of I don't have any intentions of being on that team.
Yeah.
We're not here to wipe out a species. We're here to learn.
Yeah, by all means, we understand. If you are that type of person, you have the time, and you go out in the woods, make sure, protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
These are
Unknown
unknown animals, so protect yourself, but don't go out searching for that. This is not a type of creature that you put up on your wall. This is not another deer trophy.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Like, don't go out looking to kill these things.
Yeah.
We
don't know how many of them are left.
Yeah.
And I disagree wholeheartedly with some big names out there when I say I do not believe there's that many of them. I believe that I believe that they're a much smaller population than we can imagine. And I also am starting to think that they might live longer than us. That's fully a gut feeling. Not if I find any way of proving that, I will. If it's out there, I'll find it. But for right now, my opinion is that they live longer than us. They have a much longer longevity, or greater longevity than us, and there's not as many of them because of that longevity.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
And plus, like with that, them not having that many in their species to reproduce with, and they travel very far distances probably to mate. So by the time it could be years before they actually find, if they don't follow it within a group, because a group can only sustain a healthy gene pool for only a couple generations. Just a group. You get what I'm saying? It's it's just they would have to go off, break off and find a different mate, and then maybe come back.
Yeah.
And they're walking. They're not like birds or anything. They're not flying.
Yeah, he's not jumping in a car and driving to where he's going.
So it's probably taking them years to get to that spot where they actually find a mate. So it's going to take years for this to actually happen.
To be honest, I mean, many people believe the Pacific Northwest was the hotspot, or is the hotspot, that the biggest population of them is there. And a lot of people share an opinion that we have played a big part in reducing their numbers greatly. So maybe we've already affected their population. I don't know, but
maybe that's the reason why we're seeing them in other areas of the United States. I can't say for other countries, but I know everybody else has their own lore around the Sasquatches, like the Yeti, the Yowie, stuff of that nature. But maybe that's the reason why we see them around our area. You said we affected that population. What is the number one thing once you tear down their home or any of that sort? An animal tries to move on, tries to find another home.
Right.
And we broke up that probably a decent size community of these things, and they just branched off and they left.
Right.
And that's why they're scattered to all parts of the United States.
It could be. I mean, we don't know. I mean, we've certainly done it to other species, so who knows? You know, I'm not real sure on that, but it is what it is. You know, I hope you guys have enjoyed what we've showed tonight. I hope it helps. I don't know, man. I'm gonna get back to work this coming week. I'm gonna get back to work and try to find more. You know, for the next time. See if we can. See if we can't, and if you know, if we can't find it quick enough, maybe we could jump back on the old monster tracker and see if we can't.
See if we can't find any more. See if there's patterns in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and to the listeners, like, we're still taking interviews. If you want to be on the show, or you just want us to read your encounter, just send us a message.
Send us an email. You know, give Steve a break. He's got a lot of emails to go through. You know, you can send them over. We'll read them.
And that's encounters@kyxfiles.com.
That's it. Thank you everybody for subscribing to us on Spotify and on the YouTube channel as well. That's really cool. And appreciate you listening. Appreciate you watching on YouTube. And we will see you next time.